Hot 101.5.
These are the radio vlogs of Miguel Fuller and Holly O'Connor.
Because it's so much easier to just say them out loud than it is to type them.
Dear blog, I almost ruined my friend's adoption.
Like, what?
So I have one of my best friends. We've known each other since high school. We were roommates in college. We've been in a friendship for a very long time. I was the officiant at her wedding.
Yeah.
Oh.
And one of the things I've always known about her is that she's always wanted to be a mom. And her husband had some fertility issues, and they went through IVF a few rounds. And so then they decided to adopt.
Mm-hmm.
So the process that she's been walking me through and taking me through it, it's so much.
It's just adopting a child in this country is probably one of the most difficult things you can try to do.
I mean, just crazy. So one of the things that she and her husband have had to do is they want to know who is your family and who's your extended family.
Ah, yes.
So she has posted pictures of us from like the wedding, when I celebrated Abe and I, my fiance's engagement with her and her husband. So there were all different pictures throughout the years of me in this sort of portfolio that they had to put together.
Mm-hmm.
So she did it, submitted it, great. Then she got a phone call from the adoption agency. And they said, ma'am, you're going to have to remove some of these photos because you might not be picked by some of the mothers because of someone in your photos. It's because of me.
What the heck?
Wait, why?
So,
hold up.
This is insane. So the adoption agency is based in Florida. She doesn't live in Florida.
Okay, no.
But they're based here.
The adoption agency.
The adoption agency. And the lady who works for the adoption agency listens to the show.
What?
And she said that they recommend that you don't put quote unquote celebrities in your portfolio because someone may feel some sort of way. It may be positive or negative, but you want it to be very neutral. So if you know a celebrity, if they're in your family, then they always suggest that you do not put them in sort of your family portfolio. So for whatever reason, so she had to pull out all the photos throughout the years of me because of this damn job. And I was like, I'm so sorry that you spent so much time putting that together. And then my dumb joke telling butt, headphone karaoke, the hum game.
Yep.
Someone that hates the hum game is like, nope, not giving them a baby. Like,
No.
that's bizarre.
It was
Do you see?
the strangest phone call ever. And I mean, she thankfully was so tickled by it. And she was like, I'm so proud of you. I've known you since high school. And so it made me smile.
That is crazy.
They would put you in the celebrity category.
Miguel Fuller, comma, celebrity.
Right? I was like,
Does not help when it comes to adoption.
no.
Good Lord.
That's wild.
It was. So it gave me and her a tickle, and it was sort of levity in, all the drama
In
and
the process.
the stress of dealing with adoption. So who knew?
Who knew?
Oh, no.
Dear blog, my daughter has oftentimes asked me to tell her a bedtime story. And I don't know, like, this may come as a surprise to you. I panic when this request comes in. Because sometimes she'll ask me for bedtime stories of things that happened in my life. And for some reason, I can't think of any single thing that I can tell her, like, unless it's something bad. And I'm like, one time a girl shoved a cake in my face on Valentine's Day, and she's like, that's sad. I'm like, I know. Like, why? No.
My life.
So then she's like, okay, make something up. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not creative. And maybe it's that I'm not creative at like 8:30 p.m.
That's probably it.
Or what
You're
it is.
tired.
Or it's like stage fright where it's like, go, think of a story. So I try to oblige though. Cause I'm like, we don't have many more of these years. And I really want my daughter to be like, my mom told me bedtime stories. Trying. This is what I pulled out of my imagination a couple of days ago. And hold off on the music. I'm going to tell you some music that I feel like I wish I would have had with me. So first of all, I go, okay. And I'm trying to think of animals that we like. I'm like, there's an otter and a hippo and a butterfly.
Oh,
Mm.
cute.
And they're friends. And
Oh,
this
good.
story has now been going on for several days. And they're apparently magic. And like y'all, the stories, the installments are not good.
Oh.
I'm like, well, the otter walked over to the hippo, and my daughter's like, otters don't walk. They swim. And I'm like, all right. Well, the otter was swimming. And then the river turned into jelly. And they didn't know how to get him out. But the butterfly got superpowers and pulled him out of the jelly. And she's like, then what happened? I'm like, the hippo. I'm like, y'all, this is how it goes. I have no
story.
idea what I'm doing. Last night, since I was out, like I started turning it into the Wizard of Oz. I'm like, they were going to find the wizard, and it wasn't the right wizard house. So they were looking for a purple castle, but this one was maroon. And so then finally I was like, okay, give me something. I'm like, they had to go find the real wizard. They jumped into this floating wooden ship in the sky,
Oh.
and they had to jump over bullets. Hit the music. This is what I thought of.
Mario?
Y'all, I was like literally telling her the plot of when you would play Super Mario Brothers 3 and you had to go in the airship and fight one of the kids. I go, and she goes, bullets, that's aggressive. And I go, yeah, well, they were big bullets. They were like cannons. And they just, you had to jump on them. And the hippo jumped on a bullet and it killed the bullet.
Oh.
And then they got to the end room before they got to the wizard. And there was this like spiky turtle man.
Yes.
And she's like, what does that look like? I'm like, I don't know, but it was real crazy. And first the hippo had to jump on him, but they didn't get hurt because the spike's magic. The otter jumped on him. The butterfly hit him for the final knockout. And after 3 hits, she goes, he disappeared. I go, he did.
Boom.
Yes.
Look at that.
Like, this was my story last night. She's going to grow up. And if she ever sees Super Mario Brothers 3, she's going to be like, I've been scammed.
But you know what, though? That's a great idea. Using video games from back in the day as bedtime stories.
I'm gonna keep going because next you're gonna try to get Princess Peach.
Listen, then you bring in Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, Tails. I think it's great. They got to get rings. Zelda, come
I
on.
don't actually know anything about Sonic the Hedgehog, but I do know some Zelda, so I'll work on that legend.
I feel a bit coming on. We might have to tell bedtime stories to help you out and see and come with the best.
Please, I'm struggling. And like when I go and they had to face bullets, she goes, bullets, that's aggressive. I go, all right. Not like
Just listen to the
not
story.
like guns, like big goofy cannons.
I love
Where were
it.
the cannons? In boxes on this ship. I don't know. Anyway.
All right, it's 6:48. Holly, what is hot and trending in Tampa Bay?
All right, we have got to say goodbye to a really prolific comedian, and something really scary went down at Ariana Grande's house. We'll talk about it at 7.
Before that, did any of us blow out our backs doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air dance for our TikTok challenge? We reveal our videos next on Hot 101.5.